Hello.
Day 41, folks.
Business as usual.
With an asterisk. It's Mike and Mary with our daily message on surviving the pandemic and the quarantine.
That's right. And we just had a revelation. And the revelation is there are 9 weeks until the end of the first half. Now, I don't mean like the end of the first half of a football game or something.
Not the end of the first half of the pandemic either.
No, we don't know when that's going to be over. But the first half of the year ends June 30th. And that's 9 weeks from now. So it's time for a message from us.
So what can you do in the next 9 weeks, no matter what happens? And we think 3 things should go in place. And the first is... what?
Take a look at your business plan.
That's right. Revisit that business plan. Dust off the old business breakthrough business plan that we created in November, back before the whole world turned upside down.
So Vermont is loosening the stranglehold on their citizens. Montana, restaurants and bars are actually opened on, they're opening on Saturday night. Yes, it's a long commute. But we're starting to see some of that. On the other hand, here's Illinois, whose governor said June 1st. Listen,
extending it. Yeah.
We have no idea how much longer this is going to last. And what if they release us and then there's this wave of the second round and we get clamped back down? So here's the question. Take a look at your business plan. And now that you know what you know, what needs to be revisited?
Rethink some of the assumptions that went into putting the business plan together in the first place. Remember the income to activity converter?
Which is ratios.
Well, let's look at history and see what my production has been, where I want it to go. And what do? Well, you got to recalculate at this time. Recalculate and look at what your response has been to the quarantine and the pandemic and the restrictions. What has my response been? What kind of productivity have I had? What can I expect in the next 9 weeks, with or without restrictions easing? And recalculate, what is it I really want to accomplish in the next 9 weeks until we get halfway through the year? And then,
if you think you're going to wait until this is all over to do business, well, you're just not going to hit your goal. And then you get out your business plan and you adjust your goal accordingly. If you look at that business plan and you say, you know what? I still want to earn that income. I deserve to earn that income. I'm ready to earn that income. Then what are the action steps that you have to take right now? Maybe it's to design a PowerPoint presentation and you haven't done that yet. Maybe it's to start making calls to people that you don't know. You have to work within the confines of your state, certainly. But I know there are things that you can do today and tomorrow and the next day that will get you ready for accomplishing your goal this year.
So in just a few words, it's revisit your business plan, rethink the assumptions, recalculate your activity and your goals, and recommit to them for at least the next 9 weeks.
Right. Now, the second thing that you've got to do is you've got to find support. To do this all by yourself, especially if you're coming out from under, especially if you're increasing what you have been doing in the last few weeks. You need people around you that are going to do the same thing. You need to find like-minded citizens who also have a real estate license. They don't have to be in your state, but they've got to be also people that want to work and are working toward a goal, because that's going to lift you up as well.
Support, of course, means encouragement. And it means I need some fresh ideas. And it means I'd like some objective advice. And it means I'd like someone to help me troubleshoot my numbers and ratios and get an objective point of view on that.
I think it also means I'm going to ask someone I trust and respect to hold me to a minimum number of conversations or appointments, or find accountability within your business, because that's how you're going to achieve the activity that's going to drive the rest of the results.
Just enough accountability.
Right.
Nobody needs a gun to their head.
Right.
But you do need just enough accountability. It sounds like we're defining R squared coaching. Oh, we are. That's right. And teams are forming right now as we speak. So check out R squared coaching. That could be just the support and
Right.
encouragement system that you need in place to make it through and come out the other side with our third ingredient today.
But before we go on,
Yeah.
floydwickman.com, and R Squared Coaching usually begins the first week in January, the first week in July, but we are putting together some emergency teams right now because there's been such a demand for people to be held accountable to do these hard things. And so we've got a 2-month opportunity if you want to seize it.
And to have the support.
What's the third thing?
Well, have you ever watched a track and field meet?
Of course.
They have 2 events that are the same distance. One is, and they're 400 meters long.
One is swimming and one is running?
No, that's track and field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there's 2 events. One is they're both 400 meters long.
Okay.
And one is for individual runners.
Oh.
And one is for a relay team.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the relay team, 3 of the 4 runners get to start with a running start and catch the baton from the runner behind them.
Okay.
Guess which has a faster time always? The individual who's starting from a standing still start, or the team where 3 out of 4 have a running start.
Well, plus they get to have fresh bodies, fresh legs.
That's right.
Lungs.
Yeah, it's called momentum. If you go into the second half of the year with momentum, and what do we mean by momentum?
Wait,
we mean
what's called momentum? A relay is, I don't get that.
you can either start from a standing still start
Oh.
or have a running start.
Okay.
And that's called having momentum.
All right. Yes, I agree.
You agree?
Yes, we can proceed now.
Finally, agreement. This is great. Alert the media. It's a first. So
And you were saying?
go into the year with momentum, the second half of the year. And you get that by getting booked. And how do you get booked between now and the next 9 weeks? Have conversations.
Right.
You know what I heard today?
What?
I heard everybody I talk to wants to know how my business is.
Oh, we've been saying that to people.
What a great opening.
Hey, take a guess how my business is going.
Right.
You say that, they're going to guess, and they're going to guess wrong, right? No, wrong. They're going to guess wrong. Oh, I'm in a mood.
Well, they're going to open into the conversation is what they're going to do. So there'll be room for you to talk about what's actually happening in real estate and what could happen. So what we'd really like to say is, here's what I heard today. I can't imagine coming out of this unless I had a team behind me and a coach and my Wickman training and technology. If I could get all those things in place, I got a real good shot at still having the kind of year I always wanted to have.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not quite in that same way, but yeah, I mean, that's the key, right? Build momentum. That's what we want for you. Go make it happen.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Start with the business plan.